What's going on, guys? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if my sound is good. Thanks for waiting. I appreciate it. I wasn't actually going to go live tonight, but because of the news with Alexei Navalny, I felt that it would be good for me to go live. What's going on? Earth Angel Anna, John Hoover, Cats 1964, Lynn Dunn, Jackie M, Deidre Fat, Michael Gale, K. Paul, Smoking Swamp, Ross Snyderman. Thanks to all the mods for showing up. Peggy McGuire, Mama of Six. Thanks to all the people that donated in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the donations. I really appreciate it. I'm just going to start reading off some names here. Kim Cape, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. American Proud, thank you for gifting all those memberships. Hope you're having a good Friday night. MDMD, thank you for gifting memberships. Deidre Fat, thank you for the donation. NYPrepper, thanks for joining the channel. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Christy Lee, thank you for the donation. And thank you for gifting 20 memberships. That's awesome. Mr. Landfill, thank you for gifting 20 memberships. Tammy, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Christy Lee, thank you again for gifting more memberships. Vanessa Dubois, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for gifting all those memberships. Jackie M, thank you for gifting all the memberships. I appreciate you guys very much. So we have some major breaking news. Alexei Navalny has died in prison. Let me know if my sound is still good. Am I coming in good? Is it loud enough? Because I got the microphone a little bit of a distance away from me. I have a new computer set up, so I'm just testing it out right now. Okay, it sounds good. Mama of 6, thank you for gifting 20 memberships. I hope you're having a great Friday. Thank you so much. Tom R, thank you for the donation. Happy Friday. So let me just show you what we're looking at here. We currently have a U.S. nuclear war command and control plane in the air. So these planes are responsible for remotely launching all of our Minuteman III ICBMs. And what's interesting is that it was actually doing these loops over here, which means that it was actually dropping its antenna and communicating with our nuclear-armed submarines. So this plane was communicating with our nuclear forces, okay? So that definitely shows that U.S. nuclear forces are on high alert right now. And we have a lot of different news to cover tonight. I want to do like a summary of all the news this week because there was so much news. So I want to just share with you guys a summary of all the news, the major headlines today. Let me just start with some space weather. Stand by 1 minute here. We currently have a strong radio blackout in effect. Okay, check this out. We have an R3 radio blackout, which is the strongest radio blackout that the NOAA ranks. And this was because of a massive solar flare. There was an X 2.5 solar flare. So this could have some pretty serious impacts in the coming days. Okay, but there's been signal degradation already reported by pilots. I personally know someone who's a pilot, and they told me they had troubles with their communications today. So this is pretty serious. X 2.5. Okay, that's the strongest type of solar flare, is an X-class flare. So, that's pretty serious, guys. Okay. And I want to just show you guys the weather. We currently have a bunch of winter weather advisories and winter weather warnings, winter storm warnings for the Northeast, Mid Atlantic, and the Appalachians. We have winter storm warnings for southern Pennsylvania, northern Virginia, parts of West Virginia, and western Maryland. And then we have winter weather advisories for the Ohio Valley, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware. So we got some winter weather coming in. I want to just summarize some of the latest headlines, though. So let me do that. So let me just read off some stuff to you guys. A lot of stuff. So Navalny, the main critic of Putin, was murdered sometime last night by Putin, or not by him, but he gave the order basically. And this was in a Russian penal colony in the Ural Mountains. And I want to remind you guys that Putin's election, his re-election, is next month. So basically, Putin has eliminated every single opponent that he has. I mean, he eliminated Boris Nemtsov years ago. He eliminated Prigozhin last year. And now he eliminated Navalny, okay? And out of all the Putin opposition in Russia, Navalny had the biggest following. And so we're going to have to wait and see if there's any chaos in Russia in the coming hours and in the coming days. Potentially on the election night, they could stage some mass protests or riots. We really don't know. But Navalny had a huge following in Russia. I mean, huge, okay? Bigger than Prigozhin, bigger than anybody else that's anti-Putin, okay? And so it's going to be interesting to see what happens, all right? But as of right now, there's no riots in Russia, as far as I know, but that could change. Russia deployed nuclear weapons into space this week, apparently. This was deemed a serious national security threat, which resulted in an emergency briefing at the White House on Thursday with the Gang of Eight. The last time there was a Gang of Eight briefing was after 9/11, when Bush Jr. briefed them on warrantless searches. Initially, the mainstream media reported that it was a Russian nuclear weapon in space, and they have now morphed it and downplayed it into nuclear-powered weapons in space that are only there for destroying satellites and nothing else, which is BS. Okay, so they're downplaying the whole situation. They initially made a big deal out of it. Oh, this is a serious threat. And now they changed the whole story around. So I personally believe Russia deployed nuclear weapons into space. That's what I think. And that's pretty serious. Having nuclear weapons in space is very, very serious because, like I said many times, if you put nuclear weapons in space, it means that there's basically zero early warning. Okay, we're not going to be able to know when Russia deploys those warheads because they're on satellites, and all they have to do is just release the warhead from the satellite and just let it fall down to Earth. So we'll pick it up as it's falling down to Earth, as it's entering the atmosphere, but that's going to give us less than 5 minutes to react, which is not enough time to scramble bombers. It's not enough time to even potentially launch a counterattack with our Minuteman missiles, okay? So at that point, they could destroy our silos. They could destroy our VIPs. They could destroy our bomber bases and our bombers before we can react. And this is why the Outer Space Treaty of 1967 was introduced, because they didn't want that to happen. But it looks like Putin, knowing that the U.S. is not going to retaliate, is just going ahead and violating that treaty. Mike Subchinsky, how's it going? Oh, happy birthday, Mike. You're 48 years old. Wow. Happy birthday. Everybody wish Mike Subchinsky a happy birthday. He just turned 48 years old. Thank you for the donation. I wish I could send you a birthday present. Hope you do something fun this weekend for your birthday to celebrate. And Gene Morton, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I appreciate that. Brian44, thank you for the donation. Samuel Turner, thank you for the donation. Keep up your good work. Your constant vigilance will actually save lives. We have little time before World War III. Yeah, very little time before World War III, that's for sure. So, this is very serious, though. Russia deployed nuclear weapons into space. Initially they said it was nuclear weapons, and then they slowly morphed it and started to downplay it. And Mike Johnson said that, oh, there's no cause for public panic. Well, it's nothing new for there to be anti-satellite weapons in space. That's not anything new. So I don't think that's the reason why they made a big stink out of it. I think it's because Russia placed nuclear warheads in space, and they just don't want us to know about it. They don't want to cause panic. The leader of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, threatened payback with blood for Israeli airstrikes on southern Lebanon this week. He said the rockets being used against northern Israel are only a fraction of the range of the missiles they have, which he says can reach all the way to southern Israel. Wow. So strong words there from Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, threatening payback with blood against Israel, and saying that his rockets can reach all the way to southern Israel. The U.S. conducted a cyber attack against the Iranian naval warship in the Red Sea that was providing targeting information to the Houthis of commercial ships and allied warships. And the EU has launched a mission to the Red Sea to protect commercial ships from the Houthis. Their logistical base will be in Djibouti, and their operations base will be in Greece. France, Italy, and Germany will be sending the first warships, which are already on their way to the Red Sea now. We had nearly a dozen M-class solar flares this week, just below X-class, and there was that X 2.5 last night. Donald Trump was ordered by New York State to pay $350 million, and he's barred from running a business in New York for 3 years. His son, Eric Trump, has been barred from being the corporate officer of any business in New York. We had a massive exchange of artillery and airstrikes between Hezbollah and Israel this week. Okay, massive amount of airstrikes by Israel and artillery strikes by Hezbollah. All right, so the situation is just continuing to escalate over there. And there were recent reports of mysterious lights spotted by multiple pilots over the Canadian prairies, which have caught the attention of aviation authorities in Canada and the US, including NORAD. Radio transmissions reveal pilots and ground control discussing the presence of UFOs flying in a formation far above conventional aircraft altitudes. And North Korea test-fired a long-range surface-to-sea anti-ship cruise missile under the supervision of Kim Jong-un. Russia used 24 North Korean ballistic missiles against Ukraine so far. And in their most recent missile attack on Ukraine 2 days ago, they used one of these North Korean missiles, a KN-23. And Germany and France have signed security deals with Ukraine today. France signed a deal for 10 years with Ukraine, and they're going to give them 3 billion euros worth of aid, and Germany is going to be giving them 1 billion euros worth of aid. And Britain deployed 600 armored vehicles to Poland There were also U.S. Army convoys spotted in northeastern Poland near the Suwalki Gap, and there's been heightened reconnaissance over Poland this week. And Estonian intelligence reported this week that Russia plans to double the number of its troops on the border with Estonia. And they also mentioned they could close their border with Russia entirely, just like Finland did. And the Prime Minister of Armenia stated that he has received intelligence that indicates that Azerbaijan is preparing for a full-scale war with Armenia. And Russia claims Ukraine launched an MLRS attack on a shopping mall in the Russian city of Belgorod, which they claim killed 6 Russian civilians. And ExxonMobil has started drilling for oil off the coast of Guyana in waters that are claimed by Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. Iran tested a Club K missile, which is a missile that could be hidden in shipping containers on ships at sea or in port. They also conducted a simulated ballistic missile attack on an Israeli base. And Putin claims that Russia will have a cancer vaccine soon. And Ukraine said that the Russian army has been extensively using Elon Musk's Starlink for communications. And 5 U.S. aircraft carriers are now being deployed to the Western Pacific. Israel carried out sabotage attacks against a major natural gas pipeline in Iran connecting refineries from the Persian Gulf to Tehran. And the Philippines Navy has deployed a warship in their western waters to safeguard maritime interests off the waters of Palawan Island facing the South China Sea to protect their maritime interests. The Philippines also passed a law stating that any artificial islands within the Philippines exclusive economic zone will be considered part of the Philippines, part of their territory. So that's some of the latest news from this week. And let me just share with you some of the latest news from today. Okay, so this evening there were some gunshots reported in Tripoli, Libya. Okay, there's some gunfire going on in Tripoli, Libya. We don't know what's going on over there yet. Ukrainian forces are now withdrawing from Avdiivka, according to the commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian military, General Syrskyi. Okay, so Ukraine is pulling out of Avdiivka. They're pulling all their troops out now. Okay, so Avdiivka is lost, basically. Russia is going to get control of Avdiivka. Okay, so that's definitely not good. There was a large-scale rocket attack this evening in northern Israel again. And Russian soldiers have now captured the central park within the city of Avdiivka. And let's see what else here. 2 Western officials and analysts with the IRGC have now stated that the 2 kabooms resulting in fires last week on the natural gas pipeline in Iran were Israeli covert attacks attempting to send a message to Iran. This was reported by the New York Times. Okay. So let me just share some stuff with you guys here. Want to just share some stuff. We have a lot of reconnaissance this evening over the Korean Peninsula. Okay, here we have some unknown plane flying along the DMZ in South Korea. Okay, this was today. And we also had this RQ-4 Global Hawk that was flying along the DMZ as well. So lots of reconnaissance there. And here we have some footage of Zelensky's plane being escorted by German fighter jets when he was flying to Germany for the Munich conference, when he met with Macron and Olaf Scholz. Okay, so the Ukrainian president's plane was escorted by German fighter jets. It's pretty interesting. I wonder if he flew out of Ukraine or if he went to Poland first. But this was Zelensky's plane escorted by German fighter jets. And here we have some video footage coming out of Russia today. This was some arrests here in Russia after Navalny was killed. There were a bunch of people outside, and the Russian police were arresting them. And here's one person who was arrested, and they're literally filming from inside of a Russian paddy wagon. Okay, so the Russian police are out there, and this guy got arrested for who knows what reason, some stupid bullshit reason, as usual. Okay, so what's the emergency? The emergency is that Navalny was killed today. Okay, that's the emergency, and we could see total chaos in Russia now. Here we have David Cameron, the foreign minister of Britain. He used to be the prime minister. I want to play what he had to say about this whole situation.
Lord Cameron, your reaction to Alexei Navalny's death?
Well, Alex Navalny was an incredibly brave fighter against corruption, and he gave up everything in campaigning for what he believed in. And my heart goes out to his wife and to his family. And we should be clear about what has happened here. Putin's Russia imprisoned him, trumped up charges against him, poisoned him, sent him to an Arctic penal colony, and now he's tragically died. And we should hold Putin accountable for this. And no one should be in any doubt about the dreadful nature of Putin's regime in Russia after what has just happened.
Hear what he said? We should hold Putin accountable.
Trumped up charges against him, poisoned him, sent him to an Arctic penal colony, and now he's tragically died. And we should hold Putin accountable for this. And no one should be in any doubt about the dreadful nature of Putin's regime in Russia.
So strong words there from David Cameron. And here we have some people in Serbia that were protesting. They were standing outside the Russian embassy in Serbia, and they were giving the middle finger and saying something. I think Putin is a dickhead or something. Let me play this for you.
Putin, 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 Putin.
Wow, pretty interesting there. And you see, we have some more footage here coming out of Russia. Some of these, apparently, some like Russian secret agents have been desecrating or destroying these monuments that were built for Navalny. So here's an example. Some are like Russian agents. I don't know who these people are, but you can see some Russian police standing there and guarding them. And then there's like these Russian secret agents that are basically, I guess they laid a bunch of flowers there, and I think they're collecting all the flowers and throwing them in garbage bags. That's what it looks like to me. This is fresh coming in, so it's hard to say what they're doing. But looks like some secret police or secret agents removing all the flowers because people lined up and they were putting flowers down on some Gulag memorial outside of the FSB headquarters, and they're removing all those flowers. It looks like, I don't know, that's what it seems like to me, which is really screwed up if that's what they're doing. But this just shows how Putin is just so scared of his opposition, that he's willing to go to these lengths to silence all opposition against him. I mean, he basically has no opposition anymore because he eliminated Prigozhin. Now he eliminated Navalny. So, I mean, there's like no one else that's going to go against them, Let me just show you guys some footage here of the police here in Russia arresting some of these people for no reason, literally no reason at all, just because they were, I guess, commemorating his death. I don't know. Just absolutely insane. Crazy world we're living in, guys. Crazy world. Look, they just walk up and arrest this guy. Just walk up and take him away for no reason at all. Some lady here.
Просьба не оказывать неповиновение сотрудникам полиции.
I don't know what that police officer is saying, if anybody knows Russian, but he's got a megaphone.
Просьба не оказывать неповиновение сотрудникам полиции.
Давай, блядь, подтягивай. Давайте веселее. Четверка со мной, бегом. Сюда, за мной, говорю, бегом.
Уважаемые граждане, в данном месте никакого публичного и иного мероприятия согласовано не было. Просьба покинуть место проведения несогласованного массового мероприятия. Уважаемые граждане, не мешайте проходу по тротуару. В противном случае вы будете задержаны и доставлены в территориальные органы внутренних дел.
They just took someone else away there. Wow. They're just walking up and taking people away. Absolutely insane. Can you guys still see? Someone said black screen. I think you got to refresh your stream, Janet. John Hoover says the police are saying leave the area by order of the police. Okay. Crazy. They're just arresting people for no reason. Here's another person that just got arrested. They have a dog out there too.
Пресса, 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 пресса.
Уважаемые граждане,
Собаку заберите.
Вы не видите, что ли? Что случилось?
I'm surprised they're letting that person film. They're just walking right by and letting him film. But look at all the paddy wagons here they got.
Пресса, пресса, пресса. Я понимаю. Спасибо, пресса.
Oh, because she had a press pass. She said press, press, and they checked her pass.
уважаемые граждане, в данном месте мероприятия. Не нарушать общественный порядок, выполнять требования.
This person looks like they were going to put flowers down somewhere, probably in front of some memorial.
ФСБ выполняет законные требования сотрудников полиции.
Это антизаконно как Свои. Нет, вы обоснуйте сначала. Мужчины. А свои это кто?
So that's some of the latest footage coming out of Russia. Absolutely insane situation. Here we have Navalny, his last statements before he was taken out. He was speaking to some judges, I guess, in Russia.
Ваша честь, я жду, я вам отправлю номер своего лицевого счета, чтобы вы с вашей огромной зарплатой федерального судьи подогревали мой лицевой счет, потому что деньги у меня заканчиваются. А благодаря вашим решениям они закончатся еще быстрее. Так что присылайте. Артем Задович, вы тоже там скидываете всей зоны. Счастливо, до свидания.
So absolutely crazy, guys. He was like joking around with these judges. He was saying something about their salary or something. I don't. There wasn't really anything significant. He was kind of picking on them, about how much money or how little money they make. Something like that. Nothing really too significant. But I mean, he looked healthy here. So he was definitely either shot or poisoned or what, because he didn't look sick here. I mean, look, he's speaking normally. He's standing on his own. He doesn't look like he's, unhealthy or anything other than being pretty thin. He doesn't look like he's on the verge of dying or anything.
Я вам отправлю номер своего лицевого счета, чтобы вы с вашей огромной зарплатой федерального судьи подогревали мой лицевой счет, потому что деньги у меня заканчиваются. А благодаря вашим решениям они закончатся еще быстрее. Так что присылайте. Артем Задович, вы тоже там скидываете всей зоны.
This guy's some kind of judge. Some kind of judge over there. Really sad situation, really sad situation. I mean, he was just literally murdered. Just absolutely insane. It's just crazy. But yeah, this is huge news, guys. We could see massive uprisings now. Throughout Russia. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. We had 2 doomsday planes in the air today, 2 presidential doomsday planes, and one of them actually left D.C. and went to Offutt Air Base, which is pretty interesting. That would be what the U.S. military would do if there was an actual nuclear war. They would send the president to Offutt Air Base or some other kind of bunker, or they would put him in the air potentially. But 2 doomsday planes in the air this week, or today, I'm sorry. Lots of doomsday planes this week. But our military's on high alert, guys. Our military is on high alert. 2 doomsday planes in the air in one day is pretty unusual. And here we have a bunch of Russian doomsday planes that went to Chelyabinsk last night. There were like half a dozen of these. They went to Chelyabinsk in the middle of the night, and then they came back. So my guess is this was related to Navalny's death. So I don't know, who or what was who was being moved or what was going on here. But this is definitely not common. Okay, you can see here 3 of the Tupolev Tu-14 PU planes, which are the Doomsday planes, then some of the airborne command posts here. These are all Russian Special Flight Squadron planes, which are basically Doomsday planes, airborne command posts, VIP planes, okay? And there were also some planes from the 223rd Flight Squadron, and the 223rd Flight Squadron is the one that is responsible for moving Putin around. So, maybe they moved Putin to, Yamantu or something, Mount Yamantu or Kazvinsky Kamen. Let me see if I can find the screenshot there. I can't find it now, but there were like three of the Tupolev 154s, part of the 223rd Flight Squadron, which in Russia their primary purpose is for moving VIPs around. Okay, and they went to Chelyabinsk last night, and then these planes left Chelyabinsk this morning. So somebody went to Chelyabinsk last night. I don't know if it was Medvedev or someone else. I don't know, but pretty interesting. Let me just show you guys this footage here. This is a U.S. Army convoy in northeastern Poland, and this is obviously not the entire convoy, but here we have like two tractor trailers heading to the northeastern city of Białystok in Poland, which is right near the Suwalki Gap and Belarus. So a lot of troops moving into northeastern Poland. And this first truck right here, you can see what's interesting is that its number is 66. Actually, both of these trucks, their number is 66, which is pretty interesting. It reminds me of Star Wars Order 66. I don't know if that was on purpose or, I don't know, but the 6 is also a satanic number too. But on this truck right here, there's a large container, and then there's a smaller container behind it, which is pretty interesting. And then this next truck is just two containers. Okay, but the U.S. Army is moving forces into northeastern Poland. Okay, preparing for a worst case scenario. So things are escalating over there in the Baltic region. Let me just show you guys some of the recon planes that have been up in the air today and the last couple of days in Poland. Here we have a U.S. sub-hunter plane that was patrolling off the coast of Kaliningrad. It's doing loops off the coast of Kaliningrad. Check that out. Here we have Netherlands C-130 cargo plane that went to Kaunas, which is an area where NATO has a massive base in Lithuania right near the Suwalki Gap. So NATO moved some equipment most likely to this base here in Lithuania. They have a major battle group there. The headquarters for the Lithuania battle group for NATO is in Kaunas. They have a huge training ground, massive base there. So the Netherlands moved a bunch of equipment there. This was in the middle of the night. Okay. Here we have a bunch of recon planes that were patrolling over Poland and Lithuania last night. Look at this, guys. Absolutely insane. There was a French recon plane that flew along the border with Belarus in Lithuania and Poland. We had a NATO AWACS plane. We had 3 aerial refuelers. There was also a Polish border guard plane flying along the Polish-Lithuanian border. Here we have another shot here. This was, I believe, 2 days ago. You can see Jake 17, which is an RC-135 rivet joint, and it was flying back and forth along the Kaliningrad coastline here. Okay, EM, thank you for the donation. Why not take Putin out regardless of the cost? Wouldn't the U.S. be money ahead? That's a good question. It's not that easy, I guess, to take him out, because if it was, they would have tried to do it already. So I think that, Russia also has their dead hand system, which is another thing too. We don't know if Putin is hooked into the nuclear arsenal. In other words, if we take out Putin, is it going to auto launch all the nuclear weapons at us? We don't know if there's some type of, heartbeat monitor that Putin has. And if we take him out and that heartbeat monitor stops, it's going to auto launch, or unlikely that they would have that. But my guess is it's not easy to take Putin out. It's probably not easy to do. And there's a risk if it doesn't go well, or if there's other people in the Russian chain of command that would basically retaliate, like his closest allies, like Patrushev, or his defense ministers, his generals, if they wouldn't just launch nukes at us after. So, but that's a good question, and thank you so much for the donation. Happy Friday. Someone said Clayton Morris seems to have no balls. What's going on, Smoking Swamp? Do I have a video on bug out bags? Yeah, I've done some videos on bug out bags a long time ago. I'd like to do some new ones, some new bug out bag videos. So that'll probably be coming, but I do have some older videos on my bug out bag. So yeah, I'll do a new one though. I'll do some new bug out bag videos, and I'm going to do some practice bug outs, this coming spring and summer. What's going on, Laura Miller? Good to see you. I should do a video on neutron bombs. Yeah, neutron bombs are devastating. Also, cobalt bombs are dangerous too. John Hoover says if you took Putin out, the chaos would ensue because the power vacuum would make the whole region unstable. Yep, that's right. There would be a power vacuum. What's going on, Renee? Good to see you. Yeah, lots of breaking news, Ross Snyderman. That's right. So let me just continue on here. Here's some more recon activity over Poland. Okay, this is just insane. Okay, you don't do this much reconnaissance, unless something's about to go down. It's just crazy. And here was like 2 days ago. Look at this, guys. There's Jake 17, Swedish recon plane. There was also an Italian recon plane. It's just absolutely crazy. Hundreds of British armored vehicles going to Poland. Let me see here. What else did I want to show you guys? We had this interesting, what appears to be either recon or LiDAR mapping going on off of Taiwan 2 nights ago. This was a NASA plane that was going up and down the west coast of Taiwan. Check that out. Back and forth, back and forth. Pretty concerning there. The situation in Taiwan is, continuing to escalate. The U.S. is going to be deploying 5 aircraft carriers to the Western Pacific in a show of strength to China. That's just crazy, guys. 5 aircraft carriers. And we had this Cobra ball that was flying over the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska. This was on Wednesday, on Valentine's Day. This was right after the announcement of the national security threat. They sent this Cobra ball up into the air. This is a missile detection plane. So this plane can detect missiles and stuff like that. Let me see what else here. Here we had a ton of. This was on Wednesday when the national security threat was announced. You see here 2 nuclear war command and control planes. There were 2 B-52s. There was a Doomsday plane, and there was a B-1. Okay, so Wednesday was just absolutely insane. Lots and lots of reconnaissance activity. Lots and lots of nuclear warplane activity over the United States. Let me just share some video footage here. This was taken by a friend of mine who lives near Offutt Air Base, okay, where Strategic Command is located. And here's a B-1 flying over. Check this out. He filmed this. This was on Wednesday. This one had its transponder turned off. Didn't have its transponder on. Wow. And then here we had this thing didn't have its transponder on. So yeah, this was not a training flight, because if it was a training flight, it would have its transponder on, but it didn't have its transponder on. Okay, it was untrackable. So yeah, it's not a training flight, that's for sure. And then here's a presidential doomsday plane that was coming into Stratcom on Wednesday when the national security threat was announced. Okay, you can see it coming in right there. So, pretty crazy situation. Like I said, guys, they have nuclear weapons in space. Okay, this is not about satellites. That's what they want you to think to kind of reduce the panic factor. But it's not about satellites, okay? Here we have some footage coming out of Iran. This is that pipeline that the Israelis ruptured, okay, with their sabotage attack. This is the main pipeline in Iran that connects the Persian Gulf to Tehran. So this is like an artery, you know, and they hit it with two explosives. Looks like they planted charges in 2 areas, and they completely cut that pipeline. John Hoover says the doomsday plane needs to look menacing. Jeff Roberts, stop trying to constantly contradict me or correct me. You're on the verge of getting banned. Yeah, I know there's 2 separate types of transponders, but the point is the military is not going to fly with only military transponders on in a peacetime scenario, because there's a risk that they could crash. Okay. So there has to be a good reason for them to shut off their civilian transponder, because they don't want to be invisible to, civilian planes. What's going on, PAEMT? How long have they had space nukes? Why was it just released now? And does the U.S. have space nukes? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. It's very possible that they could have had them for a long time. They're just suddenly now disclosing it. It's possible that we have them. It's really hard to say. What's going on? Real estate photography. How's it going? MDMD, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Happy Friday. Let me just share some other stuff here with you guys. In case you missed it, Iran's former atomic chief said that Iran already has the components needed to build nuclear weapons. Okay. So not a good sign at all. So, I mean, just so much going on. We have Russia with nukes in space now. We have Iran with components to build nuclear weapons. We have a new war front in the Middle East with Israel fighting against, multiple enemies. The situation in Ukraine continues to get worse and worse. Ukraine is now losing. They failed their counterattack. North Korea is getting stronger and stronger. They're testing more cruise missiles and ballistic missiles, and they tested that underwater torpedo, the drone, the autonomous torpedo. I mean, things are just getting worse and worse everywhere, guys. Everywhere. Okay, the only positive news I can say is Israel. Israel is standing up, for themselves, and they're actually winning, which is, a nice thing because with all the craziness this year and last year, it's nice to see that at least there's some positive news that Israel is kicking the butts of Hamas. Okay. But other than that, I mean, there's no good news anywhere. It's just continuing to get worse and worse. The biggest thing that I'm concerned about, and I've said this before, and I want to just say it again, just to draw attention to it and really pound it home, is, Putin said the other day in an interview that he would actually prefer Biden over Trump. There was some journalist that sat down with him and asked him, who would be the best president for Russia, Biden or Trump? And actually, Putin said Biden, which kind of shocked the journalist. And then he said Biden is predictable and he's an old school politician. So, that's everything that I've been saying, guys. I've been telling you that Putin prefers Biden because Biden is predictably weak. Okay. Putin knows that he can do whatever he wants. He can invade Ukraine. He can put nukes into space. He could attack the Baltics. He could attack Moldova, attack Poland, whatever. And Biden's not going to do anything except give helmets and slap sanctions on them, So, what my biggest fear is that if, let's say, Trump or Nikki Haley get elected, if one of them gets elected and Biden loses, Putin is then going to probably do something serious because he's going to feel like his window of opportunity is closing. Okay. He would much rather have Biden than Trump or Nikki Haley because he knows that with Biden everything is predictable. Okay, there's no unknowns. Okay, there's no unknowns. And so what I think he could do is he could launch a surprise attack either on the Baltics, Moldova, Maybe he could do something crazy in Zaporizhia, that he could melt down the nuclear power plant. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that Putin could do once he feels like, okay, things are going to change now, so I better make my move now while I still have a chance. Putin is getting older. Okay, he's not a young guy. He's in his early 70s. I mean, he's still got probably another good 10 years, but he's not going to wait forever to do all the things he wants to do. And now is the perfect time for him, because our administration refuses to confront him, and they're afraid of him. Okay, they're showing tremendous fear. They've shown tremendous fear, and as long as they do that, it's going to continue. But so like in 2008, for example, if you guys remember, right before the Obama-McCain election, Russia invaded Georgia, the Republic of Georgia in the South Caucasus. That was in August of 2008. The election was in November. Okay, and he did that because he knew that there was potentially could have been a change of power, and he was afraid that McCain might get in, and McCain was very anti-Putin. I mean, McCain was like, he was really tight with Ukraine. So he went ahead and he invaded Georgia right before the election, and I think he's going to do something like that this year, because especially if it looks like Trump is going to win. If it looks like Trump is going to win, I think he's going to do something like that. Benjamin Duckworth, my biggest fear is Russia using a nuke to wake up Chernobyl. Yeah, they could do that. They could set explosive charges on Chernobyl and melt it down. Zaporizhia, Zaporizhia is even worse. Zaporizhia has 6 reactors, and the Russians have full control of it. So I don't even think Chernobyl is as bad as Zaporizhia. I don't think they're gonna do anything to Chernobyl, because Chernobyl's right in their backyard. Chernobyl is right next to Russia, so if they were to detonate it, it would contaminate Belarus and southwestern Russia. So I don't think that they would do that. It's possible though. But Zaporizhia, they could totally detonate that whole power plant or parts of it or some of the reactors, and they're still not allowing the IAEA access to the reactors. Okay, they're still restricting access to international observers there. So what are they hiding? Why are they restricting access? Why? I'll tell you why. Because Russia put explosives on those reactors as a plan B. Okay, as a potential response if Ukraine were to try to take that area back, if they were to try to take the power plant back, if they were to surround that power plant, Russia would just blow the fuses and melt down all the reactors. And that would be like as bad as Chernobyl. If not, it would be bigger than Chernobyl and Fukushima combined, depending on how many reactors they rig. If it's just one reactor, maybe as bad as Chernobyl, which was still very bad. Okay. It's really hard to say, but they definitely have that power plant rigged. I have no doubt in my mind that they have explosives all up and down that power plant, and they're keeping them there as a plan B in case Ukraine tries to take it back, or if Ukraine comes into Zaporizhia Oblast and they try to cut the land bridge in half and they're getting closer to Crimea. That would be their plan B, So let me see what else here. Here we have a picture showing the location of this natural gas pipeline that was cut in Iran by Israel. Okay, this was done by me. I drew this little X here showing the general location of where the pipeline was cut. So basically right in the middle of the pipeline. Okay, that's a pretty serious move by Israel. It's pretty serious, okay? let me just share some other stuff with you. This was Iran doing a exercise. They were practicing a strike on Israel. So that's pretty concerning. They had this mock-up Israeli base in the desert, and they had their ballistic missiles. Look at this thing. These are massive missiles, guys. Look at this. Okay. And they have all these missiles hidden in the mountains in Iran. They hide these missiles in the mountains. So, we can't destroy them. But, it's just fast forward. So this is the mock base that they made in the middle of the Iranian desert, or whatever you want to call it. Iran is basically all mountains. It's a very mountainous country. It's like the Rocky Mountains, just drier, but the elevations are very high. And so here they show this base that they made, and they strike it with ballistic missiles. And they show how this is kind of similar to the Israeli F-35 base. That's what they're showing here. They're showing Netanyahu with the Israeli F-35s. And they show a satellite picture of the Israeli F-35 base, and they're basically simulating a strike on the Israeli F-35 base. Okay. And then they launch the missiles here. You can see them going up into the air. They also use their Club K launchers, the container ship, the shipping container missiles. Okay, Iran has already built and tested a missile that can be launched from container ships. That's very concerning, okay, because they can disguise these missiles. They could hide them on a container ship. They can hide them on a container ship and suddenly just launch, and nobody would know. Nobody would, be able to prepare for that. But, Iran has a serious military, guys. They have a serious military. And once again, Biden's not doing anything about it. They have the components to build nuclear weapons. That's terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. Russia has warheads in space now. That is terrifying. And what's the Biden administration doing about that? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They're downplaying it and saying that, it's an anti-satellite weapon. Yeah, right. Do you really believe that now all of a sudden Russia has an anti-satellite weapon? And, why make such a big deal out of that? Here we have some footage coming out of Iran, some kind of chemical facility that went kaboom. This was on the outskirts of the capital, Tehran, some kind of chemical facility. Look at that huge fireball, massive fireball. Look at that. That is just absolutely insane. Thanks to the moderators. Appreciate you guys taking care of all the trolls and nasty people. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Todd says Greg for president. Oh, thank you. I don't know if that's a compliment or what. I don't know if I'd want to be president because the stress is just insane, Stress is just insane, but some Ross says NYPrepper versus Trump in a debate. That would be interesting. I wouldn't mind debating Trump or anybody for that matter. I don't mind debating. Let me see here. So this is just absolutely insane. Look at that. Someone said there's no chin under my beard, just another fist. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I want to just let you guys know I have a new setup here. So I'm going to probably be doing some more streams in the near future. I upgraded my computer so I can handle handle long live streams with a lot of stuff on the screen. So for those of you guys that like the long live streams, I'm going to be doing more of them, especially when there's some crazy events going on. I'll do 24/7 coverage. Look at that fireball, though. That's really bright. Some kind of chemical facility going up in Iran. And here we have some footage of this North Korean ballistic missile impact in Ukraine. Okay, this is supposedly a KN-23 ballistic missile that detonated in Ukraine. Look at the size of that crater. I mean, you could probably park like an entire semi truck in that crater. It's just massive, and you can see all the trees like within 50 yards or 50 meters around the crater just totally annihilated. Look at that. I mean, this is some powerful ordnance here. Look at that massive crater. Thank God that it didn't actually land where it was supposed to. Looks like they had some navigation issues with that missile, but man, imagine if this detonated in on top of a school or something in Kyiv, or some residential area. I mean, man, that's just insane. But Russia's using North Korean missiles now. Just absolutely insane. That looks like the crater that I put in the AR-500 plate. Yeah, that's true. It does. That's true. Some kind of house went kaboom in Virginia. Thank you, Ross. I appreciate that. Jeff says it looks like a tactical nuke. It's possible, yeah, or maybe some kind of earth-penetrating warhead. Some kind of kaboom in Northern Virginia. I'll take a look at it. The thing with Northern Virginia, Ross, what town was that in? Can you tell me what town it was in? I know Northern Virginia pretty well. I've been there a lot. The thing with Northern Virginia is you have to remember a lot of government workers live in Northern Virginia. Okay, CIA agents, NSA agents, military officers, all these high-ranking VIPs. They all live in Northern Virginia, and who knows? Maybe they, somebody assassinated someone. Could have been some kind of target, targeted operation. Sterling, Virginia. Okay, Sterling. I know where Sterling is. Is that northern? Isn't Sterling kind of more to the south? I thought Sterling, Virginia was more like central. Loudoun County. Oh, wow. Loudoun County. Where in Loudoun County? Do you know the name of the town? Sterling. Okay. Nice neighborhood. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Yeah, there's a lot of natural gas there. Yeah, there is a lot of natural gas there. Yep. Yeah, I'll check up on that in a sec here. I'll check up on it. Here we have some footage coming out of Israel. The Israeli military is now training in northern Israel. Okay, you can see here clearly infantry storming this area. Okay, this is clearly a preparation for a ground invasion into Lebanon. I don't know how much more clear it gets, but you can see them marching here in a skirmish line. Okay. So, they got the tank there, combined arms. So this is practice for a full-on invasion of Lebanon, guys. It's coming. As soon as Israel's done with Gaza, they're going to go after Hezbollah. It's just a matter of time. You can see them here training. I'm just going to fast forward. You can see them storming some kind of compound here with the tanks, clearing rooms. Okay, so they're doing their final training before they go into Lebanon. They're doing some CQB here, clearing rooms. Got some tank action over here. That's one of the Israeli generals, this guy right here. I forgot his position, but he's like one of their top generals, this guy. He's like one of the top generals. I think he's like the chief of staff, or I don't know what he is, but so U.S. Japan conduct bilateral exercise in the South China Sea. That was today. The Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS John Finn conducted a bilateral exercise with Allied maritime forces from the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force in the South China Sea. And they have some pictures here. We'll look at that in a bit. During the bilateral exercise, John Finn operated with the Hadakaze-class guided missile destroyer and the Takanami-class destroyer JS Suzunami and JS Shimakaze. We are honored to sail routinely with our Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force allies through these seas, said Captain Justin Hartz, commander of Task Force 71. This solidifies the bonds between our nations and demonstrates the interchangeability of our two fleets. Throughout the sail, participants enhanced deterrence, interoperability, and demonstrated readiness to respond to any regional contingency. Professional engagement and cooperation with allies and partners is the foundation of regional stability. Okay, so very interesting words here. Enhanced deterrence, interoperability, and demonstrated readiness to respond to any regional contingency. This is another exercise that the U.S. did with Japan. Okay, not long ago, they did an exercise with, the Philippines, Australia, France. There was that big exercise in Guam. It was Japan, France, Australia, the Philippines, and South Korea, and the U.S. all did a massive exercise together like 2 weeks ago. Now they're doing more exercises. 5 aircraft carriers in the Western Pacific, guys. I mean, that is just ridiculous. Okay, that's like half of all of our aircraft carriers. We can actually check where the carriers are. Let's see. USNI News has this fleet tracker. I don't know how often they update it here, but you can see the Teddy Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group, the Vincent Carrier Strike Group, the Reagan Carrier Strike Group. So that's at least 3 right now in the Western Pacific. Okay, look at that. That's just insane. A lot of firepower, guys. Each carrier strike group has, at least 100 fighter jets, which is just ridiculous. What's going on, Joe Romanino? How's it going? Good to see you. Good night, Vanessa. Take care. Somebody wanted me to check up on the house situation. What's going on, Rodney Middleton? How's it going? So let me check up on that house situation everybody's wondering about. Stand by. Let me actually set up a camera for you guys of St. Petersburg, Russia. We can watch Russia now. Let me see here. I got a camera of St. Petersburg. You can see if anything's going to go on over there. I'm going to just set up some cameras real quick. Got a camera of Moscow. You can keep an eye on Moscow. See what's going on over there with these possible riots that could be happening soon in Russia after Navalny died. So we got some cameras here. We got top right is St. Petersburg and bottom right is Moscow. We'll keep an eye on the situation and see if there's any riots unfolding. So here you can see Russia. Yeah, I'm going to check up on that house thing, the kaboom. See what's going on with that. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't share any of the footage, but this was in Sterling, Virginia. Wow. It looks absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. CNN is reporting that Russia is trying to develop a nuclear space weapon that would destroy satellites by creating a massive energy wave when detonated. I don't know if I believe it. CNN is reporting that Russia is developing an EMP weapon in space. That's what CNN is reporting. I don't trust CNN. I'm not sure if I trust that. But they're reporting some kind of EMP weapon. So that's what the latest information is coming out of CNN. Big distraction, so you don't forget about the border. So you forget about the border. Yeah, it's very possible that it could be a big distraction. Very possible. Yep, that could be it. Um, looks pretty quiet in Russia right now. Let me see if I can get another flight tracker up on the screen. Um, Rodney says go into the kitchen to look for something to munch on. Maybe directional EMP type weapons. Yeah, very possible. CNN Clown News Network. That's funny. 2 horsepower Amish Uber after an EMP. Suzanne said you sent me a link to Ukrainian live cameras. Okay, cool. I know Ukraine doesn't allow a lot of live cameras anymore because of security reasons. They don't want Russia spying on what they're doing. So. We got some Russian doomsday plane over here in Moscow. It's pretty interesting. Or just took off from Moscow, I mean. North Korea has stated that if South Korea and the United States reconnaissance aircraft get any closer to North Korean territory, it will be very clear what will follow. North Korea emphasized that recent spying activities are serious provocations. Yeah, there was that combat scent plane that flew right along the border with North Korea the other day. All right, Joe, good night. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for moderating. Have a good one, man. Have I heard of the Hopi Doomsday Prophecy? No, I haven't. What is that about? That sounds interesting. New York Adventurer says it's probably calm before the storm in Russia. It's too quiet. Yeah, I totally agree. I'm gonna see if I can get some more cameras from Russia. But right now I got Moscow and St. Petersburg, which is I think pretty good. You know, I wish the Moscow one was a little closer to downtown, but it's not easy to find. You know, ones that are copyright free. Let me see if I can get. I think if anything, it might pop off in St. Petersburg because that's Putin's hometown. You know, if any of you guys ever played GoldenEye on N64, they had that one level, Streets, which was taking place in St. Petersburg. I think I got some cameras here, guys. I got some good cameras. Hold on. Got some good cameras here of Russia, St. Petersburg. Looks like that nuclear warplane landed already, and it's pretty quiet over the U.S. right now, as to be expected this time of night. Looks like we have some C-17s that are going overseas, C-17 and a C-5 transport plane. We got this Russian Special Flight Squadron plane. See, I got another camera of Moscow. We'll put that one up on the screen and check it out. I expect massive protests in Russia. I really do. I know a lot of you guys don't think it'll happen, but I don't know. I mean, you know, the thing is Navalny was like the biggest opposition to Putin. You know, that would be like the equivalent of Trump getting arrested. You know what I mean? It's a big deal, you know. So I got one camera of Moscow downtown. I'm gonna see if I can put that one up on the screen. Yeah, GoldenEye is a classic game. Classic game. I kind of want to play. John says, I hate to say this, but there will be no big protests popping off in Russia over Navalny's death. Putin will tamp that down. Yeah, he might tamp it down, but there might still be big protests. We'll have to wait and see, though. It's hard to say, but you know, he had a huge following. It looks like that one camera is down. Maybe Russia took it down. It's not working. That sucks. Let's see. I could get a different one. Moscow. Oh yeah, a lot of them are down. Interesting. A lot of them are down in Moscow. We got another one in St. Petersburg, though. This one looks pretty cool. Let's get this one up. This one looks cool. See if I can. They force you to watch these ads. That's how they keep it free. Just like everything else, you got to watch the ads. Looks like there's some police vans in St. Petersburg on the top right. You can see some police vans there. Yeah, so we got St. Petersburg, 2 of them in St. Petersburg. Any info on the truck that went kaboom in LA? No, I don't have any info on that. I don't know anything about it. I haven't had a chance to look into it, actually. I was just so focused on Navalny because that's so big, that's such a big deal. What's going on, Aldo Schmedak? Kinkoi, how's it going? Yeah, so here's the camera of St. Petersburg. Let's see if I can get another one. I want to get a few of St. Petersburg. Let's see if there's any breaking news coming in now. Latest information about the kaboom in Virginia. Let me read this to you. Apparently 2 civilians were transported to the hospital. One firefighter was killed. Wow. That's insane. It occurred at 7:40 p.m. Yeah, it was in Sterling, Virginia. Apparently there was a gas leak at 7:30. There was a gas leak, and about a half an hour later, crews were called to the same area for a structure fire. So they're saying it's from a gas leak. In a press conference, Assistant Chief of Operations for Loudoun County Fire and Rescue, James Williams, said the kaboom left total devastation. Crews were called to the area just before 7:45 p.m. for a house fire. Shortly after crews arrived, Williams said the house kaboomed with multiple firefighters inside. Wow. So the firefighters were already in there when it went kaboom. So it's some kind of gas leak is what they're saying. So they were in there for a structure fire, and then it went kaboom. That's really sad. So apparently one of them didn't make it, which sucks. That's really unfortunate. Really sad. Still a good amount of people walking around in St. Petersburg. Check that out. Looks pretty nasty over there as far as weather goes. Pretty nasty weather. Uh, 9 firefighters and 2 civilians were taken to area hospitals for help. A 10th firefighter was killed as a result of the kaboom. They have not been identified as officials work to notify their next of kin. Wow. Wow. Really sad. The remaining injured firefighters and civilians have injuries ranging from minor to severe. According to Williams, this is the worst call we could respond to, and this is a time where we need to support each other. and hold each other up. Williams said when asked about the firefighters. Wow. Absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy, guys. So, yeah, we know that 9 firefighters and 2 civilians were injured, and 1 firefighter was killed. Okay. So, very, very sad news there. Got to pray for the families. Really sad. General says, imagine a game or movie called Space Nukes. Oh, wait, it's real life right now. Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. It looks like the river is frozen. Yeah, it does look like it's frozen. It's pretty cold over there right now. I think they're like below 0 Fahrenheit. What do I suggest is the best solar generator? There's a few different brands out there. The ones that I have experience with are Alps and Mango Power. Those are some good ones, but Alps is definitely a good one. OUPES, they're Japanese. They make a lot of good stuff, so definitely check them out. I'm trying to get another camera of St. Petersburg. Stand by. Let's see if we could check the weather over there in Russia. It's quite cold over there right now. So it looks like it was a gas leak that caused that kaboom. Looks like it was a gas leak. See, I got a bunch of cameras here. I'm going to put them up on the screen of St. Petersburg. Oh, wait, technical difficulties they're having with these cameras. A lot of technical issues, huh? Try to fit all these cameras in. See here. And these advertisements for these cameras are like 2 minutes long. It's crazy. see, I got another good one of Moscow. Shows all of Moscow. Huh. Some reason the camera's not working. This other one here in St. Petersburg right now is 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. 2 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's pretty cold over there now. See if I can get another view of St. Petersburg. Check out the temperature while we're at it. Wow. Yeah, you can see all the cold air right here in Russia. Look at this. I mean, in the Baltics, you got 40s. In Poland, you got 40s. And then once you get into central Russia, it's like -10, -20. The Siberian air is bottled up over there. Yeah, we got single digits in the Moscow area, southern Russia, teens. So it's pretty cold. Moscow right now is 19 degrees. 19 degrees right now. No riots in that cold. The Russians are used to it. You know, for them, that's normal. I know the cold's not going to stop them. You know, if they want to riot, they're going to riot. So we got that X-class solar flare. That's something we got to keep an eye out for. You know, and there's going to be more X-class flares as time goes on. They're in Celsius. No, I don't think so because it's converted. You see here it shows 19 degrees Fahrenheit for Moscow. So it's all converted to Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's not Celsius. It's all converted because, you know, Europe uses Celsius also, you know, but yeah, so Moscow right now, 19 degrees, and it's still morning. Probably will warm up a little bit. You could see like Siberia, for example. Siberia is just insanely cold. Siberia is just insane. You know, you got -30s, -40s, which is actually warm for Siberia. It should be like -60, -70 now. You know, like Yakutsk. Yakutsk is the coldest place in the northern hemisphere. Yakutsk and that part of Russia, like north of Lake Baikal. Here, Yakutsk is at -24, which is pretty warm for them. It's supposed to be like -50 over there. but you can see a lot of cold air bottled up there. I mean, even like Canada and Alaska are not even that cold right now. Look, it's not really super cold in Alaska. Look, Fairbanks only 12, Anchorage 21. Oh wait, what's going on here? So interesting. Let me see if I can get another camera here of St. Petersburg. Siberia does have a lot of prisons. Yeah, all the gulags. Yakutsk is the coldest place to live. Yes, because it's far north and it's very continental. So because it's so continental, um, it stay away from seed oils. Adrian says I get cold easily. Exercise is too much work. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, so that's the situation with the house in Virginia. They're saying it was just a natural gas line. That's the official story. It's the official story. Let's see, what other cameras should I set up here? More Russia cameras. $85 in the Philippines. Wow. That's warm. Ask Greg to shave his beard and you girls can make a coat. That's funny. 30 degrees in PA and snowing moderately. Yeah, did it start snowing already? I haven't been out in 2 hours or so since I started streaming. Kat Sui says I want summer now. Good to see you, Kat Sui. Hope everything's going well. Yeah, there's a winter storm coming to Pennsylvania and Mid-Atlantic. I'll have to look up about that truck. I'll check into it. It's probably just, some kind of accident. Not really too concerned about it. Just like that house, the house was some kind of accident. Gas leak. See if I can get any Ukraine. Oh, they have a camera of Lake Baikal. That's interesting. That's funny. Wow. Got Lake Baikal here. That's pretty cool. It's funny. Their camera of Lake Baikal is better than their camera of Moscow. That's pretty hilarious. It's always cool to see all these different places. You see if I can get some other cameras from different parts of the world besides just Russia. The flight tracker's quiet right now. It's the middle of the night, so let's see what's going on in Asia here. We got a plane here in Asia. What's that? Some kind of NASA plane over South Korea. Interesting. St. Petersburg looks pretty quiet right now. It's very early morning, though. It's early morning over there, so I wouldn't expect there to be any kind of big riots right now. Hey, NYP, is that deal for My Patriot Supply good for all of next month? For the 1 month supply, it might change because they always change their deals. Sometimes they do the 3 month supply. Sometimes they do the 1 month supply. Sometimes they do 2 weeks. They're always changing their deals around, but right now they have the 1 month supply for $60 off, and that should stay for a little while. So let me see if I can get some more cameras going here. What other places should I get cameras for? What do you think? Ukraine, maybe? Should I get some Ukraine cameras going? Or the U.S. border? I don't know. I mean, the U.S. border, there's not much to really see, I guess. It's just... See, someone sent me Ukraine cameras. Let me check those. Let me see. Someone sent some cameras from Ukraine. If not, I'll have to try to find them. Sorry, guys. 1 minute here. Gas prices went up. Imagine being stuck amidst a Siberian prison with no human habitat for 500 miles in each direction. Nowhere to run or hide because cold can kill anyone within minutes. Yeah, that would be really bad. Yeah, Siberia is no joke. Yeah, we got some NASA planes. We got a NASA plane and a South Korean National Police plane flying over here near the border with North Korea. It's pretty interesting. What happened here? Looks like the camera went down. There's not much to see. I see in Lake Baikal, people are literally driving on the lake. You can see, I don't know if those are snowmobiles or cars, but they're driving over the lake. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, people are just driving on top of it. It's smart to stay clear of Siberia. Yeah, definitely. Siberia is no joke. Siberia is no joke. Worse than Alcatraz. Yep. There's a good movie about Siberia. It's called The Way Back with Colin Farrell. It's about it's based on a true story of people that try to escape from a gulag in Siberia. Looks like I'm supposed to get like 6 inches of snow tonight in my area where I live. It's interesting. It's pretty quiet over the US right now. Got some activity in Korea though. What happened to our camera? Got messed up. Wow, looks like the camera went down. Maybe technical issues. Yeah, I don't know if they turned it off maybe because they didn't want people seeing what's going on. I don't know. Russia's a police state, so they can just turn things off whenever they want. My kind of movie, Escape and Evasion. Check it out. The Way Back with Colin Farrell. Really good movie. It's a lot of good survival stuff in there. It's based on a true story of Polish Polish military officer that was taken to a Russian prison after World War II, and he escapes with some friends of his. And they try to walk across Siberia to, I think it was India, which is pretty insane. Yeah, it looks like they shut this camera off. That's crazy. Wow. Absolutely insane. Absolutely crazy. You see if there's any cameras from Ukraine. I got some cameras from Estonia as well. That's a good one to watch, is Estonia. So it looks like a pretty quiet night so far. that's pretty much all the breaking news that I have, what I shared earlier. So I don't really have anything else. Right now, I'm just monitoring the situation live. So that's pretty much all that I'm doing right now. Let's see. I'm trying to find some cameras in different areas. We could keep an eye on different places. Yeah, they must have turned that camera off. They probably didn't want me looking at it anymore. It's pretty funny. It just suddenly went dark. See, I mean, there's a bunch of different cameras out there. I just can't share them all because some of them are copyrighted, you know. So unfortunately, I can't share every single stream. I gotta find one that's not, you know, copyrighted and stuff. See, I got another one from yeah, this one is down. This camera is down. We got 2 Moscow cameras though, so that's pretty good. Zelensky made a new dancing video. That's funny. Aldo says, please don't mock Ukraine and the USA. Yeah, this is generally a pro-Ukraine channel. I support Ukraine. I don't support Putin. But, you know, if people want to joke about Zelensky, that's fine. You know, Zelensky's not really, I mean, he's just a political leader, you know. PA said, "Yeah, I'm gonna set up a camera. I actually just got a camera in the mail today. I'm gonna set it up over the elk, the area where I go to film the elk. Some of you guys have seen my videos of the Pennsylvania elk. There's a area where there's just hundreds of elk show up, and I got this live camera. I'm gonna just find a good spot to put it somewhere." And it's got pan, tilt, and zoom, so I can set that camera up and we could watch it live on these streams. Like right now, we could watch those elk. It has night vision too. Why do I support Ukraine? Because they got invaded and they didn't do anything really to deserve it. It's basically just, you know, it's just a war of conquest by Russia. They want to teach Ukraine a lesson or something. So that's why I support Ukraine. That doesn't mean I'm a huge fan of Zelensky or anything, but I support the country, and I believe Ukraine has a right to be independent. You know, so yeah, you know, and I'm not ashamed of that. You know, Ukraine is more similar to America than Russia is. You know, Ukraine is trying desperately to have freedom. You know, they're trying desperately to get away from communism and get away from socialism, you know, and stuff like that, you know, which Russia is going back to, you know, under Putin. Russia is being dragged back 50 years or even more. Now it's like Stalin. Russia is like in basically the Stalin era, you know, where people just get taken out, you know, randomly. So yeah, so that's my thoughts about that. And, you know, that's just what I think. Let me see here. I got a camera from the Sawalki Gap. Let me put that up on the screen here. Where is it? Got a camera of northeast Poland, Sawalki Gap area. There's also that camera in Africa. I got to find that camera again. That was a cool one. Looks like the sun is just coming up now in Russia. But it sucks that one good camera of St. Petersburg is no longer working. But we got a good camera of Lake Baikal. I guess that's pretty cool. To watch Lake Baikal. Let me see. Let's see, what else should I get in here? Estonia. I'm probably going to leave the stream on all night long. I'll probably shut it down and then restart it in a little bit, just so I can edit the stream to the beginning of it so people can rewatch and get all the latest news. But I'll probably restart it and do like an overnight stream. If you guys are interested in that, I won't be here all night talking, but I'll pop in and out potentially and be in the chat and stuff like that. Just testing a new setup because when these big events happen, I want to do these 24/7 streams like this. So I have a new computer and everything, and yeah, that's like smoke, mud and munitions. That's like smoke from some kind of, I don't know if it's a factory. It's like steam. Yeah, it looks like some kind of steam over there. This looks like right near, I'm not sure exactly where this is facing. I have to check on Google Maps, but this looks like not far from the Red Square. We got Lake Baikal. I just put that up there for the fun of it, just to see something different. And you know what's interesting is that like Russians that live in Siberia, they're a lot different than Russians that live in like Western Russia. It seems like Siberia is like totally detached from the rest of Russia. I mean, you can see here people are walking around on the ice, having a good time, ice skating. Looks like if you're going to live in Russia, Siberia is the way to go. Even though it's brutally cold, but looks like you're away from all that chaos and all that insanity over there. Wow, Dave C, if you're watching, thank you so much for the donation, Dave C. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Yeah, OBS. Yep, I'll do the OBS. I have to set that up. Yeah, they time out the cameras so people don't leave them going. Some of them, they time them out. Yeah. Good night, Steve. Siberians look like Chinese people. Interesting. Christopher James says, please pray for my family. I have something serious going on. Don't want to talk about it, but I'm in a lot of pain. Sounds good, Christopher. If you guys can all just keep Christopher James in your prayers, he's going through some health issues. What do I think of the Taurus Raging Bull in 480? Is that 480 Ruger? I would I'm not a big fan of like the 480 Ruger and those cartridges just because they're not too common. You're better off getting like a 454 Casull or 460 Smith and Wesson, which is going to have it's more common, and you can go hot or you can go mild. So that would be my recommendation, is like a 460 Smith and Wesson or 44 Magnum, 500 Magnum. OBS is great software. Yes, OBS is great. I got to set it up. I'm using a different software now, but I do have OBS. I just have to start using it. I just haven't had a chance to play around with it. Do I think China is going to start sending soldiers across the border into the U.S.? I hope not. That would suck. If that happened, that would really suck. It's possible, though. They could come in through Mexico or Canada. Didn't they send Chinese soldiers to Canada recently, like last year or the year before? There were like Chinese soldiers training with the Canadian soldiers. I don't know if you guys remember that or not. But they were training together like a year or two ago, so it's possible, yeah. Mama of Six, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for moderating. I appreciate it. Hope everything's going well with you. Thanks for all your support. And have a good night and enjoy your weekend. Saw videos where Chinese are coming in at the southern border. Oh, yeah. Yeah, plenty of videos about that. Yeah, no shortage of videos of that. That's for sure. Good night, K. Paul. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you for all your support, man. You're the best. You're the best. Yeah, it looks like this one camera went kaput. Not sure what happened here. They probably shut it off. Let me see, where else can I get a camera from here? Yeah, it looks like they shut it off. There's a lot of good webcams, but they're on YouTube, so I can't stream it. I can't share it with you guys. But I wonder if I should try to get that African camera back up. That would be cool. See, I think I'm gonna get rid of the Baltic Lake Baikal camera, maybe. We lost 3 Chinese restaurants lately. We think they got warned and went into hiding. Mud and Munitions, have a good night. Awesome update. Thank you. Hope everything's going well with you. Putin will go down as one of the most evil world leaders in history. Yeah, definitely. He's definitely going to go down as one of the most evil for sure. Um, you know what I might do, guys? I might actually shut the stream down and then restart it. What do you guys think? Should I do that or just call it a night? Any of you guys going to stay up and watch? If not, I'll just leave it up tomorrow during the day. Yeah, EarthCam is a good site. EarthCam is a good one. Call it a night. Members only. Have a good night, Rodney. Yeah, maybe I'll do the stream tomorrow. Yeah, I got to start doing a members only stream soon. Old Spice says I'm going out. Take a break. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so I'll shut it down and maybe I'll restart it. If I restart it, I'll just leave it unattended. So if you guys want to hang out in the chat or something, I'll just leave it unattended and or maybe I'll leave it up during the day tomorrow. So thank you guys for all your support. Blue Angel, Kin Koi, Aldo Schmedak. I'll probably leave it up all weekend, maybe. I'll give that a try for a change. Amanda Moss, have a good night. Aldo says I'm off to bed. Good night, Aldo. Thank you to the mods. Appreciate you guys. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.